good morning, wherever it is, wherever you're watching from. We are happy you're here. This is United versus everybody. I am your host, Sean, and this is a Man United News Roundup. You guys know the drill by now. We're going to talk the latest and greatest Manchester United transfer news, updates, rumors, all of it. It's all fun. It's silly season. You know what you're getting into at this point, right? It is what it is. But Ian's going to be jumping in to join me as well. You guys, we're going to talk a little World Cup recap and stadium updates as well. So put on your fun to wear. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And we will be back here in a hot second. All right, let me get Ian in here. What is going on, Ian? How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, guys? What's going on, mate? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, probably doing a little better than you. Sounds like you guys are having a torrid time of it over there in the UK. What is it up to, like triple digits now, you were telling me?
Yeah, well, it is inside my house. Outside, it's
for me.
It's in the mid-30s outside, but it's been in the high 30s today, but it's like 40, just above 41 in my bedroom at the moment.
And I looked up, you guys, that is about 100 and some odd degrees inside his house. That's absolutely nuts, man. So, but you're here, you're upright, you're not passed out and melting, turning into an egg on a skillet. So we will...
got a bit more toughness than that. But, yeah.
You guys are made of stern stuff over there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. This country, a few of you guys in the chat will know, Rob will know, you guys have heat wherever you all are. Deb was messaging in the chat today. Sanchez was like, it's a cool 22 in my bedroom in India. I'm like, that's not normal. You know, Sean often tells me about those triple digit things, and Danny lives in Humiditiesville. But, we're just not set for it here, guys. So if I start slurring, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just melting. It's
problem
bad.
is we have this thing over here, and at least in Michigan, I don't know what it's like over there, but it's one company that does all like the AC, the utilities, and there's this program now where on really hot days they can kind of override everyone's air conditioning, and so it doesn't overload the grid. They can shut it down in the hottest times of the day. So like. It's first world problems. I get it. It is what it is. But we are so thankful that Ian is here. Ian, you still watching any of this World Cup? I know some of these games are as dead rubber gets.
Yesterday we were out. I saw some results. I haven't seen a lot in the last sort of day and a bit. Yeah. I was catching a little bit of France while I was doing dinner before we jumped on here. I think they're 1-0 up. The chat will obviously let us know. Danny B.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, France Norway is dead rubber. It was two teams who were already through, and they're pretty much. I mean, Norway decided to just be smart. France decided to just not care and try to put everybody at risk. They're up 3-1 now.
Mbappe first.
Dembele's got a hat trick now, so there's that.
I see. No goal for Mbappe, so he wasted his time today.
Well, he's got 2 assists, Mbappe. So
has he?
And then Schelderup for Norway assisted Norway's goal, the player that I shouted out in my scouting specialist set of the World Cup. So,
all right.
Just saying. Speaking of World Cup, why don't we kick things off and start with a little bit of a recap, you guys? So before we do get locked in, just a couple quick things. Just again, like, subscribe, make sure you share if you're watching on X.
Definitely.
Consider jumping over here, hitting that like button for me. Do appreciate that. We're on the road to 4K. And up in the top right corner of the screen, you can see the graphic. It is a sale going on in the UVE store. They everything's 20% off right now. So I think it's for like the next 4 or 5 days as well. So if you're on the fence, I ordered something during the 30% off sale. It should be here tomorrow, I think. So I'll be showing you guys that.
I got my email a couple of days ago to say mine's on its way. Takes a little bit longer than a few days, but it'll be here.
We got a newcomer, Musa Kanu coming in with a strong chat. Really easy, quick way to get on everyone's good side.
Big
here.
up.
It says, let me say this truth. United needs to sign Mamadou Sangare. He is the right midfielder in that 6th position. You were in the right place. If you guys are not familiar with Mamadou Sangare, go check out my video on him. Deep dive, in-depth look at what he's all about, what he brings to the table, how he stacks up to other midfielders. The link to that is in the description of this one. But big up Musa Kanu coming in hot, already with a good chat. Anytime you big up Mamadou Sangare on the channel, you're all right.
You're a win here. Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about this World Cup, because obviously some matches going on today, some of them dead rubbers. Who has qualified, though, is the big question. We say dead rubbers because a lot of clubs or a lot of teams have already qualified. Yeah. Who has already qualified for the round of 32? We have already got about 16 teams guaranteed. And we went through this the other day. So rather than go through the matches like one by one like we have, because a lot of them are just no point, this is what we're looking at right now. So far, we've got Mexico, South Africa were a bit of a surprise for me. Switzerland snuck right in there. Canada, Brazil, Morocco. The U.S. locked it in after the round 2, the group phase. Australia also, we beat them, but they managed to do pretty well. Germany.
Well, they won their first, didn't they? And then they came up against a team not trying in their third. So, it works, doesn't it?
Turkey were a big disappointment, in my opinion.
Germany only showed up against you when you basically let them.
Yeah, it was a dead rubber. We didn't care, and they literally won that one in like stoppage time, I think, last night.
I know.
Germany, Ivory Coast, Netherlands, Japan, France, Norway, Argentina, and Colombia have all guaranteed top spots. I didn't put the other teams in there like Portugal and whatnot because there's still a chance. Because there could be some shakeups today. There could be some shakeups tomorrow, right? So before we talk about the shakeups real quick, anybody in there that you are surprised to see in there? Any teams you're surprised or not?
Well, yes and no. I thought you guys would qualify. I thought you've been looking very strong since the first game. I was surprised with South Africa, but they done what a lot of teams have chosen to do of the lesser favoured teams. They've gone for it in the first game. If it goes their way, they could afford to lose one. And they, like we just said, they got lucky where the third team they were playing was their hardest team that had already won their other 2 games. So they got lucky and were able to pull through. So not a surprise to South Africa, I would say. Everyone else, not really. No, Australia the same.
Australia. I mean, for me, it's less that I'm less surprised that Australia automatically qualified than I am that Turkey just did not do anything this tournament.
Oh yeah,
like Turkey were probably one of my biggest disappointments of this entire tournament so far because they've actually got really good players, and like they've got Real Madrid players. They've got like Kadioglu, who's playing for Brighton, had a really good season. Like they have a lot of good players. It just goes to show you that you have to find a way to get them all to gel and work them all together, because I thought Arda Güler had a horrid tournament. I mean, I know he was man of the match last night, but if you look at the photo of his trophy, he did not look like a guy who just won man of the match.
No, he's going home.
Yeah, and he can't be like your star. He's just not there yet. So maybe Euros could be a good...
I think they're a little bit caught between the old sort of legendary-ish players and new players getting enough time to come through and be good enough. They need a shake-up, They've got talent, they just need a shake-up.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. Australia they looked good that first match, very aggressive. Jordan Boss.
You destroyed really them.
Yeah, we just absolutely hammered them. They could not get going. Results, the rest of the week could mean some shakeups, especially today. So results in Group G, for instance, could see Belgium kind of sneak back into the top 2 at the expense of either Egypt or Iran. Egypt or Iran could drop out of that top spot in Group G.
Well, Iran are losing, aren't they? I think they currently were to go. They were before we started.
Yeah, I've had clients. Friday's my busy day for clients, so I didn't. I haven't really had a chance. Yeah, Iraq are losing, and they're down to 10 men against Senegal at the moment.
Well, that's done. They're done.
So
then.
There's that. It's the same do in Group H. Cape Verde sit in 3rd, but they are tied with Uruguay on points, and Spain are actually only 2 points ahead. So Spain lose, one of these other teams win, that whole group can get completely shaken up. Which is why you're probably going to see a strong side from Spain and Uruguay as well for fantasy players out there.
Definitely. Uruguay can't afford to risk, because I think Cape Verde could easily sneak into that.
They've got Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay and Spain play each other, so I mean, if Uruguay and Spain draw, Cape Verde win, that could literally shake up that whole thing.
And Spain can't afford a draw because the first draw. they can't afford 2 draws. That's risky as you like.
It is. It could be. This is why I'm like, some of these games are dead rubbers, but some of these games, like tomorrow's game, I'm definitely watching the Croatia versus Ghana game. That'll be a good one, because Croatia are in third. I think they could leapfrog Ghana into second place if they win that one. This could be interesting. Argentina, top of Group J, but both Algeria and Austria are on 3 points, and they still play each other still. So that could be a bit of a shake-up as well.
Yeah, I fancy Austria in that one.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think just when it comes down to it, both teams can't afford to sit there. A draw's not good enough for either. It'll be a good game.
Austria look well drilled. I'll say that about Austria. It kind of reminded me of when Dortmund got all the way to the Champions League final 2 years ago. They just look like a well drilled, well coached.
Well, they got Ralph, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do we expect?
Yeah,
they've got Grandad Ralph. So,
and then Colombia are through, as we see. They do lead Group K. Portugal are in second, but Portugal are just 3 points ahead of the Congo, and Portugal play Colombia. So it could be interesting what happens in some of these matches, because because Portugal, I mean, they've got a good goal differential, so I don't think they're worried. But it's anyone.
I see with Portugal, they haven't really faced anybody that's going to go at them yet.
No,
and I don't fancy that defense at all. I don't. I've never rated Vega. I just think he looks like a calamity waiting to happen. And Ruben Diaz is a comical defender.
It's a far cry from the days of
far word
back there.
Oh yeah.
Like, where's Gonçalo
You can see
Inacio, right? Where's
Aguero.
Antonio Silva? Like, where are these young guys?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me why they wouldn't bring in some of the younger players and kind of play them. But it's Roberto Martinez. What are you going to do? I think
they've been talking about Antonio Silva. It seems like since like I would say a decade almost. They've been talking about Antonio Silva being the next
type. He came
type.
out of the scene when he was really young. What, 17, 18 over at Benfica?
16 for Benfica. He made a debut, didn't he?
So and he's good. I don't think he's as good as maybe I thought he could be. I'd definitely go Gonçalo Inacio over Antonio Silva today. But is Diomande? Diomande is not Portuguese, is he, at Sporting? Usman?
No, I don't think so. No, he's Ivory Coast. I'm fairly certain. Okay. I'm fairly well, on Football Manager, he's Ivory Coast. The last time I looked. Yeah. Someone have a look at that. But
big up Rob Taff, the fantasy lord. He is all over it.
Mate, I thought I was gaining some points this afternoon, then I looked and I'm nearly 100 points behind first place, and I'm like, this is just...
I told you, man. Rob just needs to send me his shirt size. We'll just get it done. I mean, if everyone wants to just call it now.
The thing is, next week, Sean, next week it's a big change, because next week it's all repicks. Your whole team gets reset. Yeah, Rob put something in the chat, and he'll correct us in the message if we're wrong. Next week, which starts on Saturday, if I'm correct, is the reset of your whole team. You get a little bit extra on your budget, and you've just got to repick your entire squad. There's new bonuses that get started as well now, and different things. So
nice, yeah, Rob. Yeah. We were just talking about this before we went live here. Rob Manu Kone. I was telling Ian I did that Casemiro replacement video a while back, probably like 2 or 3 months ago. I had him in there along with some other players. If you want to know who else made the cut for me, go and check out that video. That's the only spoiler you're going to get. But yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about Manu Kone, you can go check out that video. There's some other players in there, some of whom have been mentioned in this chat already, are already featured in there. But I don't know how many videos I've done on Mamadou Sangare. He's been featured in at least 3 or 4 different videos. I've done him last spring when he was at Rapid Vienna, in like a normal scouting report video. Then I did him in the Casemiro replacement. I think I've spoken about him before. I did the whole video on him. Like, you can't tell I'm a huge fan.
We talked about him during the rebuild. We talked about him during the relegation. And I bet you, if you watch any show in the last month, his name's mentioned at least once.
Yeah. It's just one of those transfers that just makes too much sense not to do. It was like Senelaman's all over again. Just like, he's going to be 40-45 million. Like, just go and get it done.
It's a steal.
Throw Ugarte at him just for a youngster.
If it happens, you know you got to get the shirt, Sean, for behind you. You know it has to happen. There is just nothing else that it can be.
It would be a dream come true. It's kind of it gives me like
Oh,
Hayden Hackney because I was all over Hayden Hackney a couple of years ago. I was like, we need to
mm,
get this kid, and then Cobby started really coming into his own, and I'm like, maybe we don't need Hackney as much.
that's it. Well,
But
let's start a petition for the Glazers. We'll all buy an official shirt from the shop with Sangare on it if they sign Sangare, but
you know,
only if they sign Sangare.
I've posted a couple of on X over the last couple months about, and I've tagged the club on it, and I'm just trying to I'm trying to do my work here, but
We
we'll
get
see.
enough fans to buy a shirt, we could pay the transfer fee.
I mean, you're gonna be fans are. I mean, if you go over there on match day, I mean that line out of the megastore is
Oh, it's
insane.
a joke. Yeah,
It's
it's a joke.
absolutely insane. It's funny too. If you ever done the tour, like it's the last stop on the tour. They walk you through this little back door into the megastore, and you're like, oh, how convenient.
Well, the last couple of years, I've heard they've stopped it, but my cousins used to know people that did what's called backdooring, and it's not letting them in. No, so you be at the front of the queue because some of these people camp the night before. If you've ever been, you will know. And those people, now you're not allowed, but would buy up 15, 20 shirts, and at the height of the day, an hour before kickoff, they'd
go
walk
get
out down
signed.
that line, go to the bottom of the line, and go, who wants one for 20 quid more than it is inside?
Yeah,
Because
There's
you're
people
going to
that-
have to queue for well over an hour,
Yeah.
and you're going to miss kickoff. The
Well, there's
amount
also
of people that do it, Sean, is not even funny.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, the amount of people who wait out by the players' entrance to get stuff signed, and then they'll turn around and throw it on eBay the next day.
Oh yeah,
It is what it is. I'm not gonna begrudge anybody what they want to do, but I mean, it's everybody's got to make a living, I guess.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes I've stood in that queue before with the kids, I would think I'd pay 20 quid just to get out of this queue.
I mean, the only time I've been in the megastore is literally at the end of the tour. I've never bought anything because it's all crazy expensive. But I will break my rule for the winner of this World Cup Fantasy League. They will get a brand new 26-27 home shirt.
I haven't bought anything for a long time. I can't say I never have because that would be a lie. I have the times I've taken my kids because it's part of the experience. I think of taking a kid. It's part of the
one those
first time,
things,
and
it's like if I buy one
thing.
thing, I'm gonna want to buy something else and something else and something else.
Yeah, oh
And,
yeah, yeah.
I can't just because there are things you can get there that you can't get elsewhere. Like there's a lot. They have other stuff than just like the jerseys, right? They've got like streetwear. They've got retro stuff. They've got all
Some of the
sorts
training
stuff.
tops you see them wearing in the warm-ups and pre-game tops and getting off the bus shirts. You can't buy those anywhere else apart from the megastore. So
Yeah, so
yeah,
they
those
get
kind
you.
of things, it's good. Yeah.
Plus, if they
Also,
do
the
fourth
Stone
kit-
Roses place
Yeah,
is
the
one of the
Stone
only places
Roses,
to get that. Yeah.
I've got a couple of those, but like if they do that blacked out retro kit this year, I mean, they might just
That'll absolutely fly.
that's gonna
Honestly,
slap.
that will fly. Yeah.
Speaking of World Cup recaps, I read that one of our own, Mateus Cunha, could tie and even beat the record of Man United players with goals in a single World Cup. He's got
Go on, the boy.
3 at the moment, tied with Rashford, Jesper Olsen, and Sir Bobby Charlton. May he rest in peace. RVP, Lukaku both had 4 at different World Cups as well. So again, cruising. A lot of records could be broken this World Cup. Like I said the other day, I did not clock that Mbappe was already like tied with Klose. I'm like, that's insane to me.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Insane
crazy.
that we live in a time where Mbappe and Messi are not only breaking that record in a single World Cup, but they could both set a new one that might never be broken.
And the fact that Ronaldo's been to so many and isn't as high up as I thought he would be.
That's insane. He's been to like what 4 or 5 World Cups. I can't forget.
I think this is his 5th. I think this is actually his 5th. But the other thing is, someone said to me, very, very, very true. Don't put it past him just getting 4 in one game.
Yeah, it could happen.
It could just happen. They click, and the wrong team just falls apart. Yeah, he'll get annoyed to the point where we all know what's better than Cristiano. Annoyed Cristiano, because he's just like
They need to just. I mean, he'll get the pens most likely.
100. Yeah,
He could have had. I mean, he selflessly gave that free kick to Nuno Mendes, who got me some points for doing that. But yeah, just honestly, they just need to hoof it to the back stick and just let Ronnie do what Ronnie does.
you was talking about. You just mentioned penalties. It made me think a bit. I was pretty annoyed at Granit Xhaka the other day. I'm thinking, you arrogant arrogant little twat, right? Because Manzambi was on a hat trick when they had that penalty.
Yeah.
And he asked him, he didn't take the ball and demand it. He asked him, and he was like, "No, it's mine." So you just begrudge the kid a World Cup hat trick on his full debut, because other games he's come off the bench.
Yeah.
It's full, a hat trick on debut. You're scum, mate.
He'll have more World Cups. He'll have more World Cups. I don't mind that as much. I think that's a way to keep these young I don't want to say he's overhyped. He's very good, but these young kind of hyped up kids, it's a way to keep them in check. Because I would want us to do that with someone like Garnacho. Like Garnacho, we're on 2. I'd be like, his head's getting a little big. Let's keep him grounded for a hot second.
I agree with that. I agree with what you're saying, but I feel in that scenario, and also when you're in a knockout competition, it's the difference between a player firing on all cylinders and not that could carry them through. And that player will more likely be Manzambi than Xhaka.
I'll agree with you just because it's Granit Xhaka, and I love to hate Granit Xhaka. So
yeah. Also, we like Manzambi here, so
we do like Manzambi. Not gonna lie, he's an excellent player. I'm starting to think though, with Cunha playing kind of this striker 9, I'm starting to think that maybe striker might not be as high on our priority list this summer as it might have been, because we have a lot of players who Carrick has played there, Mbumo, Cunha has played there as well. Cunha has played there for Brazil. United, the club, actually just posted today an article all about him playing as a 9, wearing the number 9 at the World Cup. So I mean, starting to
pushing the narrative.
It kind of makes me think maybe we're not going to be pushing too hard. I think maybe there's an opportunity if Xerxes, if we get a good offer for Xerxes, maybe we could look. I don't have a problem with us looking for a striker. I think the players we have can play there. Obviously, Cunha is showing that. I would still like us to get a striker, but
we've obviously got Obi as well.
Yeah,
so, unless he's going to go on loan. But.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, what does that mean for left wing? I mean, as long as we sign a solid left back, I don't really care what happens with the left wing after that, to be honest with you.
Nah, I know. I mean, that's what we're getting, and that's what we said. And then why someone like Manzambi was one of my picks before, was because he could play in a couple of those positions.
Yeah.
He could play in the 10, he could play on the left, he could play in centre mid. And I just feel like it's such a steal. We were talking before, guys, about shopping outside of the Premier League this year, maybe Manchester United's way to go forward. We all on this channel are educated enough on our players to know that is the way to go forward. And we could those two players we were just talking about in Sangare and Manzambi, we're probably talking just over 100 million, maybe 110 for both. They'll be on less than 150 grand a week each, probably between them.
Yeah.
And then we should go. I mean, that is just a steal.
Yeah.
When you look at what the clowns are paying for another clown, you just think, oh, really?
Well, we're going to talk about a lot of that today because
I'll hold back.
The spending is getting a little nuts today. I do agree with Danny. I would like someone a little bit more experienced. Like I've mentioned Ivan Toney a couple times. I think he's kind of right in there is what I'm kind of looking at.
Those links with him and Welbeck won't go away.
Yeah, I forget where those links came. I mean, Welbeck just signed a new deal, so I don't know if I'd go that route. He's like 36. I do like Danny Welbeck, but Tony I think is a good age. Someone like a Sorloth or a Patrick Schick or someone like that, I think would be a good little addition. Harry Kane. I mean, I can dream, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take him if Bayern don't want him.
So we'll see what happens with striker, left wing. I mean, I don't have a problem with us looking at left wingers. Like I said the other day, I just think there's better ones out there in that 50 million price range than Crescencio Somerville. Personally, I think that there are some out there that could be even less. That I like. Mika Hotz, I've mentioned. We're just talking about Manzambi. He could play there, kind of similar to like a Morgan Rogers.
Bazamano
Torre as well. Maxi Araujo, which we were talking about a little bit today. I saw scouts reports from Portugal that say that Maxi Araujo, we could have had some scouts, I think, in attendance for that. If you guys have seen some of these reports coming out of Portugal, playing for Uruguay, obviously having a really good tournament. High release clause for him, but record in Portugal claim that Sporting would be open to starting negotiations around 50 million. Still a lot in my opinion, unless he's going to be the starting left back, it's a lot for because I think he is like we were talking about before we went live. He is definitely more of an attacking fullback than he is.
Mm.
He's more of a wing back, obviously, but I like him a lot. I think I featured him in one of my videos not that long ago, and I think against certain opposition, if you're going to have a lot of the ball or something, he could really do a job. I would still probably go with like a David Raum if you're looking for someone who's experienced, who's attack minded, because
Yes.
he's got that low release clause personally. But have you watched any of Uruguay? What do you make of Araujo?
I haven't watched a lot of him. I did watch the last game because I got him in my fantasy. I think he, like you just nailed it, really. He's a lot more attacking. He's not awful defensively, but I said this to Sean before we started, guys. It's just Dorgu. No, this is not a disrespect to either player,
Yeah.
right? It's just we've got that, and if we spend if he was 25, 30 million, and he's a squad rotation option, can attack, can play centre mid, can play left back, I'm fine with that. But he's not. We're talking 50 and upwards.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, that's expensive. I'm not even going to mention the name Fran Garcia again because I'm getting sick of mentioning it. United just don't want him. They just don't want him. That's it. End of. I'm going to give up. But again, that could be something. I heard Andy Mitten talking about January, and Omar Barada mentioning January again could be important. We all know in January, Fran Garcia doesn't cost anything. We can talk to him for nothing. So maybe. But I personally don't mind the player. I just don't see the point. He fills neither gap 100%. He's not the starting left back and he's not the starting left wing. So I just can't see the point in it.
Yeah,
Not that much money.
That's a lot for someone who's going to be rotating on the left-hand side. It's a lot for even if it is as a left back. I mean, you're up. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, I think people forget he's 26 too, so he's experienced, which I like. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. No. That's not a big issue for me. But you're never going to see any of that money ever again.
No. Plus, if we want an attacking-minded left back, we've got that. His name's Patrick Dorgu. Yeah. Spend the 50 million, like you're just saying. Although you can get better. I'd rather have Somerville for 50 million, left, right, and he just gives us something that we haven't absolutely got, which is blistering electric pace.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do like that Araujo does create. I mean, he had 6 goals, assists last season as well. I mean, he gets a lot of goal involvements, which I like. Obviously,
if we're gonna play Sesko to his strength, and if we're gonna sign someone like you like in Ivan Toney, then get Maxi Araujo because we need someone to cross the ball.
Yeah. Dorgu can do it. It's still very raw when it comes to his crossing. For a while there, I actually agreed with Gary Neville about something when it came to Dorgu's crossing because he tries to put it too much on a dime rather than just putting it into space and letting the attackers actually just do their job. Because I think that hit
an area, not a person.
Yeah, and if you get the ball in early enough, it's kind of like what I said about Portugal the other day, last week when they were just not moving the ball, getting in the ball. Like, you're waiting too long to try to find Ronaldo and just put it into space. Ronaldo has been doing this for long enough. He knows what to do. You don't have to, I've seen videos of Ronaldo 15 years ago where they would put a ball into the box and they would turn a light off halfway through the flight and he would still score. They put it in. They would turn the lights off right before the kicker was about to strike it, and just based on the kicker's body shape and everything, Ronaldo still put it into the net off a corner with the lights off. Like he can do that. He's fine. Don't worry about it. He'll get
players like that don't need it on a plate for them.
No, and by the time you do that, the defense has already gotten back, and so.
I remember Beckham quote: "I don't put it on the player. I put it where the player's going to be."
Yeah.
And that's the whole premise of what Shorty's saying just there. It's you aim for an area, and the striker knows where that's going to be. You just got to go. It's not difficult, but yeah, we do need someone who's going to do it better.
And like Danny says, and like I've also said these last couple months, Dorgu's gotten better. His crossing has improved.
Yes.
He's learned a little bit. And he's driving the ball, and I think that's the big difference we haven't seen from our left back, especially in a while, because Shaw has looked in the last couple of years a bit hesitant to drive that. Maybe he doesn't trust his recovery, maybe he's afraid of getting injured. I don't know, but Shaw's like the best crosser we have, so I don't know why he's not doing it more, but it's really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, we need the ability, because it seems like either, no matter what one of our fullbacks, we know there's only a 10% chance of getting a good delivery.
Yeah,
and that's got to change. I mean,
with a striker,
obviously,
with a striker like Shesko, it's got to change for sure.
Yeah, and especially also if we're going to have these players running off the strikers like we clearly saw Carrick likes, in behind balls, quick ones from Bruno, which we want the midfield to switch the ball quickly, bang, in the space. That's what we're set up to do. You've got to have people that can deliver quality.
Yeah, and it's a shame that, Shaw's been injured as much as he has, that he's older now, so it's not yet. And so it is something we have to think about when it comes time to replace him. Is Dorgu that long term? Is Dorgu more attacking? Is he a defense? Like, he's still young, so I'm like, there's kind of a lot to work with there. But
he could easily do both. Dorgu, I think he's definitely got he's athletic enough to do both jobs.
Yeah,
it's just, is he disciplined enough to do both jobs?
Yeah, he's raw. People forget he was like 20 when we signed him.
Oh yeah.
Danny likes Munoz at Palace. I like Munoz too. You guys know it doesn't take much for me to replace Diogo Dallo, but Munoz is like 30, 31 now. Yeah. He had a good early start to the World Cup, though. I'll give him that.
I like the Palace left back as well, actually.
Yeah.
I don't mind him.
Let's move on, because with World Cup, we know what we're going to get into, right? It's death, taxes, and United getting linked to a player when they've got a good performance.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So we got some links to Felix Nemecha earlier in the season, and of course the guy has had a really good game recently for Germany in the World Cup, and of course those links are getting refreshed. So we're going to talk about them, not because I'm 100% convinced by him, but because they are coming from Patrick Berger, who's a pretty legit source. So I just want to make sure we save some time. I'm not completely writing it off, but we'll see what Patrick Berger has had to say. That apparently we have stepped up our pursuit of Felix Nemecha. Vavell remains in close contact with the players' camp. City, of course, the usual suspects, all linked: City, Liverpool, Madrid, all keeping close tabs. So like I said, it is Patrick Berger, who I do have time for, but this does feel like news, not news at the same time.
Very. I heard something about this transfer, which I think is quite interesting. And it's a lot of our transfers. If you look deeply into it, a lot of the things we're being linked to, you can find these same two links. It's Vavell, which we know has got his fingers in all little European pies. And this one is being driven as well, I say, by Wilcox, who worked with Nemecha in City's youth.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously from City's youth, so everyone who didn't know that, he is. Now, also, what has happened very recently is him and Nico Schlotterbeck have both signed extensions of their contracts at Dortmund, but are both being touted about for sale, which is exactly what Dortmund do. They're just doing the sort of Red Bull model now of new contract, like Cunha did, but we'll let you go for this much. They apparently want north of 80 million straight away, as soon as our name was mentioned.
Yeah, of course. I mean, again, like you said, new contract goes for the next 4 or 5 years. He's on almost 200K a week, more than 190K a week, which is ridiculous. I'm sure he is on our list. I'm sure that he is one of several midfielders that are on our list. I mean, that makes sense. He's a top quality midfielder. It'd be stupid not to have him on your list.
Absolutely.
Berger does add that he's happy at Dortmund, focused on the World Cup, as you're going to see. He's not a defense. He's not a 6 like a lot of people seem to think he is. He's definitely more box to box. I don't know how comfortable I would feel with just him and like Cobby being the starting pivot. I don't know if match, because I brought up his numbers the other day, and his defensive numbers are not great. He's definitely just he's more of a Hackney, Hayden Hackney type than a Casemiro.
Oh, he's definitely more of a box-to-box than a Casemiro. Yeah.
He's got a good eye for a pass. Obviously, that ball in to find Undav the other day was absolutely perfect. Undav's control, I think, made that goal, honestly, but the ball in was spot on.
I'm just not sure with him. I agree with you 100%. I'd be very uneasy with him and Kobe in there, in the same way that I was uneasy when I see Kobe and Mason Mount.
Yeah.
not because either player lacks somewhat ability. It's not. It's just there's no defensive ability or mental defensive mindset. And you need to have that, especially if you're a player whose whole game is about marauding forward.
Yeah. It's like when we don't have a striker, like, yeah, Mbumo can do the job, but he's not natural. So the positions that you want a striker to take up in the box are not always going to be taken up. So this guy, if he and Cobby are on the pitch, I worry that they're both going to get a little too far forward. We're not going to have any coverage in the pivot.
He would be the different option for me. He'd have to be if Kobe needed a rest or if we were going to try something different.
Yeah, and that's, again, now you're getting into a spot where he's on 192K a week. He's probably going to cost a lot of money. For that, you're going to
be rotation.
He should be starting. He should be rotating. And I'm like, very similar to Cobby. I don't know how I feel about that. He's good. Yeah. I just don't know if it's the right move for us. If we played a 4-3-3 and Bruno was no longer here and we had a defensive six, cool. Get him, play him as an 8.
Yeah, that works. Perfect. Him, Kobe, and Edison possibly work. Or him, Kobe, and Tchouameni. Then that works.
That would be chef's kiss of a midfield right there. Him, because he's got a passing range. Kobe's got that driving ability, that press resistance, and then you've got Tchouameni to kind of sweep up and play balls forward. We looked the other day. Tchouameni's ball progression is actually very, very good. He's right. He's literally almost like carbon copy of Casemiro in many ways. Tchouameni.
Well, I've heard people say, and we all know on this channel, the only gripe any of us have got with him as a player is his injury record. Okay, recently it's been better. I will go out there and say that. I'm not trying to hate on him, because if we're talking ability as a footballer, he is top of the list. He is 10 times better than Elliot Anderson, and I've heard people say he's not as experienced as Anderson. What waffle? What absolute?
Nobody knew who Elliot Anderson was before 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago, he couldn't get in a Newcastle team because of I can't even remember the reject we were linked with about 20 times and probably doesn't play for them. Yeah, he was getting in that Newcastle team ahead of Elliot Anderson. He left to go to Forest, was nearly relegated, was semi-relegated this season until they pulled it away at the end because they got knocked out of Europe. And now people are talking about him like the second coming of Zinedine Zidane. Behave yourselves. Go and stand in the corner.
He's not 130 million good.
He's not. I'm sorry. I don't even think he's too much over a 30 million pound player, Sean. And I'm not being.
If you guys caught our 225 million pound rebuild, I did decide to go all out for Anderson, but that was like a month and a half ago, and I thought that he could definitely get him for like 90 million. But clearly, I was not as crazy as some of these other clubs out here. So
insanity.
Yeah. Mike DeBazzi, no one's saying Tchouameni's not good. In an ideal world, Tchouameni would be a dream. But you guys, and I'm not even saying like it's an automatic deal breaker. You just, again, and maybe I'm a little too conservative and hesitant when it comes to players with dicey injury records. Maybe I've just been burnt one too many times.
We have been burned though, Sean. Yeah, we have been burned. You're not wrong.
It's not a gamble I want to make at the club right now.
It's not a gamble we can afford.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my next point, especially with someone like Tchouameni who's going to cost a lot per week. Again, the wages are where it's really going to kill you because you're talking almost Casemiro-like wages with someone like Tchouameni. And so that's going to cost you anywhere between 15 to 18 million a year in wages for him on top of the fee. The fee I'm not as concerned about anymore. Just with how much amortization is going on these last couple of years, it's getting a little crazy. Because you could buy him. You buy him for 70 million. First 2 years, you spent maybe 30 million in fees. Someone could still buy him for 40, and you're making money still.
Easily. He's not a player coming towards the end of his career. He is entering the prime.
He is.
We'll get prime Tchouameni.
Yeah. And if for the prices being talked about, we're going to talk about it a little bit as well. If you get Tchouameni for the price that's being rumored
between 70 and 80, I'm seeing
between Elliot Anderson, I'm like, no, and like Mike says, we win the transfer window at that point.
100%, Mike. I mean, 100%. We're talking the difference between us, Tchouameni and Anderson, could literally be Sangare.
Yeah.
Can you?
It's the money. We're going to talk about the money because the money is
nuts.
Kind of making my head spin these days. I'm going to get through some of these transfer rumors first. So yeah, Nemecha, obviously, I think it's World Cup hype. I think he is on a list. I think we are. I think if you're a big club who's got who's got ambition, who's doing their job right, you have a list A of all your top prospects. And yeah, you are going to be in constant communication with the representatives, with the clubs, with the players because if you're not doing that, if you're not doing your due diligence, then you're just not doing your job as a recruitment team.
Of course.
So,
Oh, of course.
I don't think there's anything in this that's necessary. Like I said, it's news, but not news is the way I would classify it. But
Yeah.
we'll see. Moving on, we're cruising. I'm happy with this. How you doing over there, Ian? You melting yet? You still?
No,
you
yeah,
still
no, I'm good. It's actually, it's getting to it's nearly 9:30 in the evening now. So it's 29 outside. So it's a little under, it's under 40 in my room now, about 38. I'm down.
Speaking of signing, speaking of our window, I know a lot of people, and we've been talking about this in the WhatsApp group. Starting 11 Legends members, don't forget we do have that WhatsApp group. I did refresh the link.
It's in the group.
Now, a lot of United fans have been kind of raging this week about transfers, specifically about Spurs potentially outbidding United for Mateus Fernandes. We spoke a lot about this already. Most of what we spoke about had to do with, is he worth this? What is overpaying? What is walking away? Whether or not United should just pay the money or whatever. I think Elliot Anderson is an example of why you shouldn't just outbid everybody personally. But Sully Talks has dropped this little ditty. I wanted to get everyone's thoughts on this. I'll read it out for you guys and we can talk a little bit. Sully Talks says, I've seen all the reports and I respect all the journos, but genuinely all I can say is that United still remain confident on Fernandes and the deal isn't over yet. This will frustrate people, but all I can do is tell you what I know. Sully Talks also reiterated the other day that United still believe we're the most advanced clubs, that we are his first choice. That has been corroborated as well by Andy Mitten this week on Talk of the Doubles. If you guys watch that, it's a really good podcast. I'd watch that before I'd watch The Overlap, just saying.
100%.
It's not just
You want some facts.
United focus. I just respect the opinions held on Talk of the Devils more than I do about the Overlap. Overlap's not horrible. Like, I think I watch certain things for certain things, if that makes sense. Like, I don't watch the Overlap for, like, tactical analysis. I watch that the same reason maybe I watch Rio for, like, experiences from, like, in the dressing room, on the pitch, those kind of things, the stories. Like, I'll watch other things for tactics. And
I'd watch the Overlap if they had a guest I respected. An ex-player, I'll watch.
Day was perfect. If you watched that one was amazing.
I haven't seen that one yet, but like every time they got an ex-United player on there or an ex-England player or someone that I know and like, I've watched it, but otherwise I avoid it like the plague.
Just when Waza's on there, because Waza is one where I'm like, you talk a lot of sense. Like his accent.
He's got his own one now.
And I watch it because it's good as far as he's honest. He's straightforward. He keeps things simple, but he's actually got really insightful ways of analyzing things. If you guys ever listen to him, I mean, if you can get past the accent.
He's rapidly taking over in this country as the number one sort of football pundit, I reckon. Within a couple of years, he'll just be he'll be above them all.
Yeah, he's actually really, really insightful, Rooney, when it comes to that kind of stuff. Rio, I like. Rio can sometimes, because when he takes off his United glasses, he gets a little too fanboy about some players, especially rival players. That's when I tune out, because I'm like Howson a little bit. Like when Howson talks about England second and United first, like for me, it's the rivalry, it's the tribalism, it's United first and foremost. So I can't give rival players and rival coaches and rival teams credit, because it just doesn't go. It goes against the grain for me. But
yeah.
That was a whole rant. Sorry, everyone.
No, I'm there. When it comes to... Go on, you say.
No, I was just going to ask a question. Go ahead. Go for it.
Now, when it comes to what we're saying about Fernandes, I've been, as you know, extremely vocal in the WhatsApp group. I simply just can't handle it. And it's not like I'm not one of these fans that are losing their shit because Spurs and some Italian gelato salesman claims that they're interested. I'll lay you down like what's his Tactical Devils guy, not Tactical Devils, who you were just talking about, Sully Talks. Basically, all we're hearing is talk.
Yeah.
Talk. The only bid I've heard Spurs actually made was apparently one to Tonali, and then their second bid wasn't even a bid. It was asking Newcastle to reconsider the first
Yeah.
offer. I think that just shows how much of a joke
Yeah.
that football club is.
And people are worried about losing out
Yeah,
to
no.
Spurs. Like,
Right,
can you
let me
just
warn
imagine
you.
Spurs like, oh, what about this? Like, come
Yeah,
on, give me
no.
it. Come
Right.
on, give me it.
Spurs don't
Pretty
have
please.
as much
Pretty
money as
please.
people are making out, and also, if they've got the money to outbid us, which apparently these people are saying they definitely have, well, where is it then?
Yeah.
If they're moving so quickly, if they're becoming transfer masters, then where's this bid? Where have we been outbid? We can't have been outbid if we haven't bid.
This could be a bit of an interesting as this kind
It's
of clocks
it's
down to
agent driven.
July 1st, right? This could get really interesting though because
Yeah,
a lot of it resets for everybody. But again,
of
West
course.
Ham do need money.
Yeah, I think it's totally agent driven.
Oh yeah,
100%. I'm getting to the
George
point
Mensch for
where
sure.
it'd annoy me to. I understand we are never going to get Mateus Fernandes or standing there and going, "Oh, just let me tell the which camera that one. I only want to play for Manchester United."
Yeah,
I get that, and I also
absolutely.
understand the opposite side of it. George Mendes has got to do a job for his client.
Hmm.
Now, the Tottenham thing is real. Just let me tell people the link with whether George Mendes has spoken to Spurs is real. Because George Mendes has got to have a plan B if plan A fails. Plan A is Manchester United. George
Yeah,
Mendes knows it from the 100%. His client gets more universally out of this deal, which means he gets more out of this deal by coming to us than he does to them. It's a fact.
yeah,
It's not whether we pay more, and don't anybody believe Spurs can pay more wages than us. They couldn't even pay their greatest ever player enough wages to stay, and he wanted to stay. So yeah, forget that. Forget 200 grand a week because Spurs will go down the worst rabbit hole of every one of their players wanting that, and
yeah.
then
And
they'll crumble.
they've spent a lot on a lot of players. We spoke about that
Yeah,
the other day because, like you said, I
yeah,
totally agree. George Mendes has got a job to do. Like I said a couple days
yeah.
ago, if they put it out there again that they only want United, they're not going to get as much money
No,
probably, so
it
they're
puts
not going
West
to get
Ham in a
that.
bad position, and I
I don't
kind of
care about West
respect it.
Ham.
No, I don't, but I kind of respect the player for not doing that
Yeah,
because if it was happening to us, we would be pissed.
yeah. It's always
We
it's always
would.
one
It's
thing when
you've
it's
got to
not
look
us,
at
and
that.
one thing when it's another. Like when it's not us, I'm
Of
like, I
course.
don't care. Do what you like. Put in a transfer request. Put it out there. Like do this. When it's us, I'm like, what are you doing? Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't talk
I,
to your
I'm
agent.
exactly. I'm the same. I want the same things. I just have to try and look at it in a realistic term. Plus,
Yeah,
I've got an
you try to.
incredibly straight talking missus, and if she thinks I'm talking shit, she will point it out. So,
We try
yeah,
to, and I just like I'm getting frustrated because I'm like we're getting a lot of reports that obviously United is his first choice. We're getting that from several different outlets, but just I want him to do a little bit more on his end to just make that known because it's just why else would we still be in this if there wasn't a chance, right?
yeah. I
It's good.
believe I believe we're talking to him. I believe we've already made all these discussions. What I think is taking its time now, and I've been trying to figure out a way to try and find out how, not the Pacific deal, but how the workings of these deals go. And I've not been able to find out anything like that. But my sister-in-law works in international marketing for mega companies, and she says to me, when you're discussing one thing sometimes with a client, you might have to notify 10 different people
Yeah,
about that, and you need to wait for 10 responses for 10 different documents for 10 different signatures to okay one tiny little thing.
yeah,
And she said that could take a week
yeah,
if you're talking about around the world. Now, I'm not saying that's why, but we are definitely talking to West Ham about the structure of payment. And the other thing that Sully mentions as well in another, or was it Andy Mitten? I think it might have been Mitten, was the possibility that we are discussing a less money in overall deal, but more money in a shorter space of time for Spurs, for West Ham, which is what they
yeah.
want. So Spurs might be willing to give you 85 million, but you've got to wait 6 years for it. We'll give you 70 million, but you only have to wait 3.
And that's the thing that a lot of people will overlook is that the conditions, the terms of the deal itself can vary drastically. I mean, because Yeah, like you just said, you laid it out perfectly there. That can be enough. Like when the Ineos, like choosing Sir Jim or Glazers going with Ineos over this other fake person that's probably not even real. I don't know, but
Sheikh Jassim.
a lot of people were
Yeah.
freaking out, and I'm like, well, you realize that Sir Jim's valuation of the club over the whole course of it was higher than this other one. So there's a reason that they maybe chose that one. So
Well, yeah.
money
It's all
talks.
about valuation. Yeah, money does talk at the end of the day, and if you money quicker talks as well.
Yep. I mean, we are
So
reportedly keeping tabs on a lot of midfielders. We're in contact with a lot of midfielders. We're interested in you'd be stupid not to. Who knows
I mean,
what's going to happen with this one? We've got till July reportedly until the finances take over. Some outlets say West Ham need to sell by then. They did have a big loss. The whole new squad cost ratio thing kicks in as well.
yep.
We've got people are, I think, and I mentioned this the other day, people don't realize too that when it comes to squad cost ratio, it's the same with FFP. The Premier League has its regulations, 85%, but if you are in Europe, UEFA has its own regulations. It's 85% in the Premier League, it's 70% in UEFA. So clubs like who are in the Conference League who like it's not financially like appealing to be in the Conference League if you're a mid-table Premier League club because you will probably end up losing money just to stay competitive in the Conference League because it's going to cost you money to get a squad. You're probably like I think Kieran Maguire said the other day that on average teams in the Conference League see like a 10 or 11 point dip in their Premier League table form, which is money down the table as well.
Look what happened to Villa.
Yeah, you only get 3 or 4 million for winning the Conference League, which not a lot. So it's just not. This is why I don't care about the Conference League. It's garbage competition.
No.
Who knows? I don't know what's going on with Mateus Fernandes. All I know is I'm starting to get a little bored with the whole saga personally. Every day it's a different thing.
That's the thing that's annoying me. I didn't want it to be a saga. I want Ineos to move quicker. I don't want us to be stupid and overpay, even though I think his valuation is a little bit more than what they do. But that doesn't matter. The point of it is, if we're doing it, it can't be too much longer. I think if we haven't heard a definitive answer before Monday, I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, stick or twist on this one. Let's put in your highest and best. If Spurs want to overpay, if someone else wants to overpay, that's fine. It seems like he's happy to leave West Ham. He's not too picky about where he would go. I mean, it's not like as if he's going to just say it's United or nobody. He wants United, but he will play for another team as long as he's not West Ham. Yeah. Mike coming in says every year United transfer window is frustrating. Takes forever to sign one. I mean, Ineos. Yeah, I think Ineos. I'm with you, Mike. We signed Acuna like the first week of June last year. We've signed Ederson technically already. We just haven't registered him because of IFAB laws when it comes to international.
That's the 1st of July, isn't it?
We can't do anything until the 1st of July. So technically, the last 2 windows, Ineos have really been in charge. We've actually signed players like the first week the window's been open. So I think Ineos. I would agree with you when it came before Ineos. We were very, very, very slow. I think Ineos have shown they're doing things different, but I do think the difference is, unlike Woodward and co, Ineos just aren't overspending on players anymore. We're not throwing $300K a week at players unless they are class players. We're not going out and spending all summer haggling over Harry Maguire only to go ahead and still pay what they want for him. I just don't think Ineos are doing it. We walked away from Jared Branthwaite 2 years ago because we weren't interested in paying.
We're not just throwing bids in there for the sake of it as well. I like the fact that we're holding our cards. I want to see the cards, but I like the fact we're holding them. But this, we've said it, Sean, we've said it for weeks now. This transfer is a carbon copy of last year, Brian Mbeumo.
Yep.
We signed a Brazilian early in the window. Done. Tick. We got another player. He's ours. He only wants us. Spurs want him. That's a joke. Same thing happened with Mbeumo. That was a joke. But it did take about another 3.5, nearly 4 weeks to get Mbeumo fully actually done. And we ended up paying a little bit more, not as in the big number, but more up in the instalments, which is exactly what I think we're trying to do with West Ham now.
And you remember, too, a lot of the talk was with the Mbeumo specifically was like, in the same, I think there were some reports that this was happening as well. Who knows what's going on? But like, we got the players buy-in and then we weren't worried anymore. There was no rush anymore. There was no race. There was no bidding war. It was like, do you want to come to United? Yes. No. I only want to go to United. We got reports that other clubs just stopped pursuing Spurs,
Yeah.
Newcastle, and now once we do that, we're like, now I disagree. I like the approach. I disagree on the again the premise that, like I've said many times, I want these players in for preseason.
Yes.
You need it. That's the way to also back the manager. It's not just about buying players; it's about getting them in soon enough.
So
to where
9
they-
days
Yeah,
on Monday till pre-season starts. So
we need players in for preseason, and it's a bummer that Ederson is at the World Cup now. Mateus Fernandes is not at the World Cup. Lewis Hall is not at the World Cup. There are a lot of players
No.
who are not. Mika Hotz, if we're looking at left wingers, not at the World Cup with Belgium.
Yep.
Like to me, I would get him before I would get Crescencio Somerville. There are several players too that are at the World Cup that I would still want to get. But see, Mamadou Sangare not at the World Cup. Just saying.
exactly. Well, I mean, we've just said 3 players we'd all be very happy with that aren't at the World Cup. So there isn't an excuse. This is the only thing I will agree with all the fans that are worried, right? Ineos are rapidly running out of excuses for how slow this is, because you can be cautious and you can be this data-driven approach, but we've made it very clear in a lot of interviews recently that we have spent the last few months doing this, so that now we didn't do what's actually happening and we're dragging our feet again, or it seems like we're dragging our feet again. Now, again, with this deal, I also think we are definitely looking at a double deal, which
With
it can
Somerville,
only
you-
extend. Yeah, I do. I think we're trying to do a double pay right now. We'll take both
Do you
deal
think
off
that
of their
puts
hands.
us ahead of Spurs in West Ham's eyes? Then, if we're willing, to
I
take
do, I
two?
do. My brother thinks it does, and I tell you, he's a hardened hammer.
So even if so you're saying that instead of maybe offering a higher bid for one player, getting 2 players for what 100 million would be more
100
appealing to West Ham?
around. I think it will, because it gives them the figure that pretty much wipes their debt in one go. Because this is the other thing as well. West Ham's debt doesn't need to be, there's 100 million quid, it's in our bank, we're okay. If you've got the books to show in the next 3 years, you'll have that 100 million, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's as good as, this is what I try and tell people, when you've got that money on the banking sheet from a club like Man United to say, we will pay you this, that's as good as cash in the bank for the bank. So your financing, look at that and go, yeah, that's fine. Because that's 100 million. You can count on that 100 million. It's done. So I think that is what's taking time. We're trying to double down and get two for one deal.
Yeah, I mean, if left wing is the position we're looking at, there are a lot of left wingers worse than Somerville. I guess then it comes down to if you like Mateus Fernandes enough to get Somerville just to get him. That's another one.
I don't think there's another Premier League player in midfield. I'm going to start. People might jump on me there. I don't think there's another Premier League midfielder I'd rather have that's available. Let's be okay. That's available. So if anyone could tell me,
for the right price, right?
Yeah. Or if anyone's okay, then anyone could tell me a player we could sign that's better than Fernandes. I know we're going to get Rob's typing Tonali as we speak, right?
I would maybe.
Who'd have Baleba over him?
I would flip a coin between, and maybe you can argue with the available. I think he'd probably be less money than what West Ham are demanding for West Ham. But I would toss a coin between Fernandes and James Garner.
Yeah. See, yes and no. I like James Garner. I don't think he's got anywhere near the potential that Fernandes has got.
I think they're a little different. When I look at James Garner, I see more of an Elliot Anderson type, but I do like James Garner a lot.
I think he's a good player. I mean, maybe Adam Walton, but we're talking more money.
Yeah.
Right. Alex Scott, good player, but no.
Yeah.
Tonali, no. Baleba, no. Who else? I mean, what's the other? What's the other Adams at Bournemouth that we're being linked with?
Tyler,
No.
Yeah, I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan
Tyler
of
Adams, no. Sanderberg, no.
Yeah.
You can line up all these other midfielders. Not a single Liverpool midfielder I would take over him.
Wharton's
I'll be honest
good.
with you, not one.
I was watching, and I texted this I put it in the WhatsApp to James Featherstone, the agent we had on the channel back in March. I was watching TalkSport this morning while I was working out, and they were talking about England they were like, you don't have anyone. You've got all these midfielders who are a little bit more physical, a little more defensive, who maybe will get a little. You don't have anyone who can get that ball from outside of their box in their half to the final third. And I literally was screaming at the screen, you should have taken Wharton. Why didn't you take Wharton?
It starts with a W.
And I texted Featherstone. I was like, and I told him, like, I'm watching Talk Sport, and they're talking about they need this ball, this deep lying ball progressor. And I told him, like, I literally shouted at the TV, like, you should have got Wharton. And he just sent me back a laughing emoji. And I'm like, it's should have gotten Wharton. He's basically Michael Carrick. I just don't get it.
It makes sense. I mean, we all know, we're all fans of Wharton here. Yeah. I'd have Wharton in a heartbeat at United. Absolute heartbeat. And I'd take him over Fernandes.
Go watch my video on Adam Morton. Yeah. In the description below.
But there isn't many. My point being, there isn't many. There isn't many midfielders that go instantly, I'd have him over him.
But here's the thing, too, and we're going to talk about this in a second. It's, if you look outside the Premier League, there's quality there.
More choice.
Prices are like just half as much almost. The Premier League, this whole Premier League proven thing that I think the English media and the Premier League itself is trying to push. Again, you guys know I don't buy into it as much. I think it's all about the player themselves and not just the Premier League. Because we've seen players move from Premier League club to Premier League club and they've not been great. So it doesn't make any sense. But the price, I think that's another thing we're trying to, like, I get the Premier League in terms of just competitive nature. Like, it's up there, right? And I love the Premier League, but the hype that we put into this whole Premier League preview. This is why Elliot Anderson cost 130 million. Now, this is why Jack Grealish was 100 million. Like, they're not 130 million pound players, but because they're Premier League proven and they play in the toughest league in the world, it's like, and because the TV money's there and everyone, like, they shouldn't be that much. That's ridiculous to me.
I think prices have gone to the point now where it's detrimental to the sport. It's detrimental to our league, and you've got teams like Chelsea and also Cheaty, as I will refer to them, or Asterix FC.
It's Asterix City and Asterix FC, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is literally thumbing their nose at the entire rule book. Yeah, they might as well do a press conference where they burn it, right? Because they're doing that. They don't care, which means if the rules get so flagrantly thumbed, which they are, Man City are spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of pounds when they should be banned from transfers. Yeah. City have got, Chelsea have got sanctions and are still allowed to sign players. Yeah. What kind of a joke are the rules? And the problem is people with money like them, people
on midfielders alone, it's insane.
Yeah, but the people with money like PSG's owners, Newcastle's owners, and Newcastle are getting pillaged because they've got more money than City 10 times over, but they can't spend it. No. If City don't get a big punishment, which we all know it's not happening now because it's been delayed for so long. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen. Premier League are too scared of ruining their brand, but what they don't realise is by not punishing City, it will ruin it more. Because as soon as it happens, every money will take over. All the big clubs in the world will just start offering stupid contracts to stupid players. We'll have 1 year deals on £3 million a week. Play for us, and all the 10 players will come and play for you for that year, and you'll win. That's what football will turn into if we do not put a stop to it. It's going too far.
The funny thing is because they're not putting a stop to it, and we can talk about this because we're on it right now, but because they're not putting a stop to it, because there hasn't been any sort of urgency to get this wrapped up, because like you said, City and Chelsea are just able to do things they're doing. The very thing that the Premier League tries to promote, the very thing that I just said, like, oh, it's the toughest, the most competitive league. Fair. It's turning them into a literal 1 and 2 team league because they just are not regulating this stuff as much. Like when City can just go out and drop 200 million in a January window on 4 players, when they can spend 130 million during an investigation. Like if you're under investigation in the U.S. for like things, you're not even allowed to like leave the state. Basically, like you're not supposed to be able to do this kind of stuff.
Sean, don't the FBI freeze assets and things like that for criminals that are under investigation?
Exactly, man. It's ridiculous.
It just goes to show that if you've got enough money, rules don't count.
Well, it just goes to show that like I gave the example the other day too. Like you just can't, like when people are like, and we can move on to this topic since we're on it now, but like. You can't just sit here and say, like, United just, like, they need to be ambitious, so they need to go and outbid Spurs for this or outbid City for this. Like, let me break this down for you. Anderson depending on who you ask, right? It's 116 million or 130 million.
Up to, yeah.
300K a week in his wage
Yep.
package. He was on just 40K a week at Forest, by the way, with a potential 10K in bonuses. Do you know that that's going to be roughly 200 million pounds over the length of his contract if he sees out that whole contract at City? Like West Ham, 85 million for Fernandes, Tonali, 80 whatever million, Nemecha, like Alex Scott, all these players. Can you imagine what the stories would be, the headlines and tweets would be if it were United that had paid that much for Elliot Anderson?
Oh, overpaid, wasted their money. Everything that I said about Anderson at the beginning, about him being a Newcastle reject and being relegated nearly last year with Forest, not carrying. If he was this good a player, he'd be able to carry Forest to Europe. It would all be the complete polar opposite of what you are hearing now. All you're hearing now is Ballon d'Or, best player in the world, next Zinedine Zidane, a masterstroke by City, which is basically rubbish on toast.
Do you remember when when Paul Pogba got 4 assists in one match and Graham Souness said that's the minimum you should expect for a player who costs that much? I mean, what the heck?
Can we just insert Florian Wirtz?
Right? Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez.
Where's Graham?
Grealish.
Where's Graham? Has he got an opinion on Florian?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Declan
left the building, has he? Yeah.
Elliot Anderson, Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz. Not a peep. Not a peep at all.
No. There's one set of media for us, and there's one set of media for everyone else,
When Pogba
which we
went
know.
one game without an assist, it was just media outcry, right?
The end of the world.
Hated the door.
The end of the world, yeah. Well, I said the reason we left rent free is the reason everybody uses us in United in the title. You got thousands more clicks than if you don't put United in the title.
Yep.
Simple as it's just the easiest way to show it.
City are just completely screwing the market though by just holding up 2 fingers to the Premier League every single transfer window that rolls around. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
But to me, it's either stockpiling because they know they're going to get in trouble and there's nothing you can do about it afterwards. Because we all know, no matter what we all dream of, they're going to get as a punishment. We know one thing: they're not going to reverse anything that's happened. They've already made that very clear. No, I don't, because as soon as they caught for cheating, everything is asterisks, asterisks.
I've been saying that
so I don't want that. I want the points. I'd love to see them relegated for it. They deserve a sanction. But I heard Elon Musk make a joke once. He said, "What's the point in giving a trillionaire a fine?"
Yeah.
That's like giving somebody a £10 parking ticket who owns a £5 million car. They do not care.
And there's no way that, like, again, the reason that City are under investigation is, like, where's the money coming from? There's no way you can spend this much, because we've seen your empty stadium. You've only existed for about 15 years as a club. You don't have a whole lot of brandage incoming. You don't have any heritage. You're paying guys like Guehi, Semenyo, Anderson 300K a week. I mean, I shudder to think of what Haaland is on. He's got to be like a 450K.
Oh, yeah, he reckons with all these bonuses, he reckons he takes home closer to 400 and 450.
There's no way you are getting legitimate, like, organic revenue that pays for that kind of stuff. Based on
the thing is, if you look at what they've done over the period since the beginning of when they took over, if you were clever about it, right, you'd have done it very slowly, very slightly increasing it a little bit, all these deals, but not. They just went straight in and dumped the world's biggest sponsorship on your head, 10 times more than anything else, right? Because if they did it slow, people would catch on and they wouldn't be able to get it. They've chucked so much money in that it doesn't matter now.
They did it slow because they didn't want to wait. They wanted to jump ahead of
when it
came to success and heritage and prestige and status. Same with Chelsea. Chelsea, like City, did not pretty much do anything before they got their rich owners in, and they didn't want to wait. They just wanted to jump ahead. They weighed the risks of doing this versus the immediate success and decided it was worth it, and they'll just kick the can down the road and pay the piper someday, 10, 20
I
years
think
later.
all the players have been told, all like the Guehi, Semenyo, all that have been told it's happening. That's why they're getting paid the stupid money. Because we're going to be out of Europe for probably a year, maybe 2. We might even get relegated for a season. But obviously, we'll go straight back up.
Why would the players still? I just don't get it, man.
Because they're the mercenaries.
What worries me with all these midfielders we're looking at, especially these big midfielders is you've got Forest, who have got a big 130 million pound incoming. You've got Chelsea, who are probably going to be selling Enzo Fernandez as well. They're going to be looking for big midfielders. You know, Chelsea are going to be going hard. Are you worried about them kind of swooping in and stealing anybody that is on your list? I could see Tchouameni going to Chelsea.
I don't think he'll take no Champions League football. I don't at all. I don't. I think he came very close to signing for us back when Jose wanted him.
Several players without Champions League football over the years. Di Maria came to us without Champions League.
I don't think Chelsea could do that though. Yeah. I don't think Chelsea have got the same pull, and Chelsea have got problems. Chelsea have got so many problems. I just don't think he'd see that as a deal.
Speaking of Tchouameni, we'll talk about Tchouameni.
Also, the other ones, I don't think anybody they're linked with I'd want. I've not seen anybody Chelsea are linked with, and anybody
right back who I'm like, you've got Gusto, you've got Reece James.
I don't understand that.
What do you need another right back for? It doesn't make any sense.
So they can sell one. They seem to think they can get 70 million for Gusto. I mean, honestly, if they do, there's something super dodgy. And they're like I said with those clubs the other year when Newcastle, Brighton, and that were doing it with Chelsea, they're swapping money between the clubs for a youth player that was worth nowhere near it. If Chelsea get anywhere near 40 million or more for Mucho Gusto, who doesn't barely play and isn't average at best, right? Yeah. They are robbing someone, or the money is being laundered from another company. It's a joke. It's cheaty as cheaty gets.
I just assume when a player is at Strasbourg that eventually they're just like Valentin Barco we were talking about the other day. Yeah. I'm like, so you'll probably go and replace, Cucurella at some point.
Yeah. So he did the same with Santos, didn't they? I liked Andre Santos. I thought, he was a quality player. And they just ruined him. Did the same.
I really like that African right back Doué, but I'm like, he's at Strasbourg, so it's likely
that's him. That's him done.
It is what it is. He looked really good though. I don't know if you guys watched that game the other night. He looked really good.
Was he the left back
for Ivory Coast?
Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, who was their left back? I watched that game the other night. Ibanos? No, Ibank something. It started with an I. He had some big yellow dread twist hair, and every time they got near him, he just cleaned the person out. He was so good. No, so good. I swear we've mentioned him on this channel.
Doué plays for Strasbourg. He's 23. He's got 2 goals, 6 assists in the league last season. He's really, really good. I like him a lot.
But Chelsea don't scare me. I don't think City want any of the players that we're linked with. They're doing cherry picking now. City are just going to cherry pick a couple of things up to fill their team up, and that's it.
And that's kind of what I've been saying for a couple of years now, and people are getting really frustrated why we don't just go and spend a lot of money. Like, you got to realize that Arsenal are like 6 years into a project. City are like 12, 13 years into their whole existence, basically. But they're at a point now where all they have to do is sell one player and then replace them with another. They can.
That's what Fergie used to do when we were at the height.
We're not there yet. This is literally our second proper transfer window under Ineos. We're just finally starting an actual proper rebuild the way it's supposed to be. Just because it's been 13 years or so since Fergie retired doesn't mean that we've been rebuilding. We have not done anything right since he's gone. We've had no plan. We've had complete clowns in charge of the biggest decisions at this club, and they've gotten it wrong every single step of the way. Now we're starting to do it, and we're going to have to accept the fact that we're going to miss out on players because we don't want to overpay. We're not going to get big names because we don't want to spend too much. We might, as we're going to talk about with Tchouameni, because right now the word is that, yes, he doesn't want to leave Real Madrid, but Andy Mitten has also been speaking and says if that situation does change, whether Madrid say, you're not in the plans, or he wants to leave, that United would be where he wants to go, and it sounds like we're still in form if that happens.
Well, it sounds like we spoke to him before anything happened with the incident with Valverde, so we've obviously had him. We've obviously had him top of a list. We've known for a year that Casemiro's not signing a new deal. Internally at United, they've possibly known longer, but I can't think of anyone that would closely enough replace Casemiro as him.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. I generally can't. He brings every single thing the same,
and
if not more.
What everyone in the chat was saying the other day, because I've got nothing but legends in this chat, they said, as far as an ideal complement partner to Kobe, he pretty much is tailor-made for that role. And I agree. Again, it's always just been the injuries for me with
Same. Absolutely same. It for me, obviously, I would rather go for him than pay the stupid money for Anderson. That's a fact, even if we had it.
You could get him and Sangare for the same amount of money as one.
Exactly. Can you imagine him and Sangare? We'd destroy that Man City midfield.
Like
We'd absolutely pummel
or
it.
Manzambi or something. You get him and Manzambi as well with Kavia too, and you've got Ederson, Tchouameni, Manzambi, and
somebody
Kavia.
the other day on an unnamed United channel was saying you can't get they were doing a Paul Scholes, you can't get a decent player for 20 million. And I was like, you might want to watch your language here. I said, for around 20 to 25 euros, you could get a Gume or Urenki.
Yeah. You can get
and it's like
players.
No response because you've just been shut down.
I mean, I don't expect a lot of the big channels to scout. Like,
Understand.
I'm realizing that's not as common as I think it should be. Not everyone is like you and me or like Danny or whatever who were like, yeah, let's go watch South American football. Let's go watch Belgian football and find all these hidden gems. Not everybody does that. I'm a bit of a nerd. You're a bit of a nerd. Danny's a bit. We're all a bit of nerds when it comes to scouting these players. It's just part of it. Not everyone's like that. And the big channels, they don't necessarily have to do that. But again, like you're saying, the other side of it is you're making very like universal, like absolute statements that are just false because Paul Scholes came out here and was like, you can't get a good keeper for 20 million. Like, well, we just had a season where he completely
player of the year. I'd make Paul Scholes hand it to him.
Yeah. Since when did absolute ignorance become an argument? Like,
when did ignorance become fact? I'll tell you when it became fact, when this was invented.
Yeah, exactly.
When that was invented, that's when it became fact, because 90% of these rumours now are from ITKs on there.
I wish more people would be in the scouting. I wish the scouting reports would get more audience, because I do think people would really like a lot of the players that we talk about and the players that other people find on YouTube. And because not just me, I'm not like the best. There are loads of other channels and accounts that do a lot of these things. So I wish people would get more into it. It is a little interesting to look into that stuff.
Yeah, but, I think you're getting it more now than you used to, because we're in a more data driven society, and things like Y Scout and Transfer Mart and those things are available where they're not always available, or they haven't been.
AI is another popular one that I've seen. And clubs are big.
It's just educating yourself. I feel if you're going to be somebody that's going to talk to people about something, you owe it to the people you're talking to give yourself a little bit of an education.
And don't you want to be like the guy with your group of friends who's able to like right now say like, yeah, look at this kid, like Christ Inau Ulawi, like he's really good, you guys watch him, and then like a year later when he goes to a bigger club for like 60 million, don't you want to be the guy who's like, told you so?
yeah that's it. You've got to
that, right?
have to mate. But, absolutely.
I mean, I get the United fans frustration. I saw today a lot of outrage. I saw Arsenal had a bid for Bruno Guimaraes rejected.
I saw that.
United fans are out in full force demanding that we swoop in, we steal him, and I'm like everyone's worried we're going to be left behind. I'm just like, they're like, you're not showing ambition, like screw Ineos and stuff. I agree, screw Ineos, but I'm like, this is like, we have a plan, other clubs have a plan. We have a stage in our rebuild, other clubs are at a different stage. We have different profiles of player that we're going, like, it just doesn't make sense. I saw people,
what we need is not what everybody else needs. No, you're 100% right. The teams like Arsenal and City, even though we might hate them, they need cherries on their cake. We need icing.
Fans who use City and Chelsea as the measuring stick, like out of all the clubs you could use as an example of what to do, those
the two biggest cheats. Yeah, I don't like Arsenal, but at least they're not like, they might cheat on the pitch, but they, when it comes to like whether their squad is what their squad is, it just is.
I don't even think Arsenal cheated. I think they're just, if you're going to get away with it, you're still going to do it. Like if it's up to the refs, in my opinion, to make those calls. The refs are they're just completely spineless, and they don't want to.
I just don't like Arsenal. The other clubs are cheating filth.
I laughed
like they never will be anything else.
When Gabriel missed that pen in the Champions League final. I still laugh.
It was just poetic justice. It was irony. It just deserved to happen.
And even it's worse with Liverpool. I told you, like Liverpool, when Brazil played Morocco that first game, I had this Brazil fan at the pub trying to fight me because I laughed so hard when Alisson made that howler. I laughed hard, and I laughed harder when the guy got mad.
Of course, someone gets angry about something like that. You just give it to them. Worse.
If you're not here for the rivalry, I mean, what are you doing? Literally. So I have clients, right? I'm a therapist. I see clients virtually, right? This background gets blurred, right? Professional. I have one client, Liverpool fan. This background does not get blurred for him.
Hell no. I'd wear a United shirt.
No. I just want to sit right here and be like, so tell me how that makes you feel. How does that make you feel, buddy?
There are some places where you would and you wouldn't. But if you give it and you can't take it, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I don't get
this sport's not for you.
And I don't get the fans who are like, you don't want to go too soon because you don't know what could happen. I'm like, getting egg on your face, taking the banter,
it's half of it.
You have to take it. You just have to. This is part of it. It comes and goes. It's peaks and troughs. Rob says no thanks to Bruno G. Now, I wasn't saying that we're in form necessarily. I'm just saying there are fans who see the move and then they freak out.
It would be a no thanks to me as well.
No, I get it. Everyone's frustrated. We know, though, United, they're not going to overpay. They're not going to pay players too much. We're not going to chase players who don't want to join us. I think what people are forgetting, and I think Danny mentioned it earlier, is that we could also be waiting for this fiscal year to open before we actually make these deals. If we make anything final right now, it goes
we have to pay now.
This year's finances, which just doesn't look great. We want to start at July 1st.
I did see somebody mention something about that, Sean. It made quite a lot of sense. We were talking about something similar the other week when we were bringing up the stadium. And somebody did mention that we had this money, bid for Tchouameni, bid for whoever else we were going to do. And then we decided we weren't going to spend it, or we were getting outbid or not pay that. So we were possibly going to use that to get a player before the fiscal year ended. Then, all of a sudden, all that sort of talk stopped after the stadium announcement. I have a fair thing that we put that money into that move for the stadium, for the newer area, i.e. then making Danny's point even more relevant, which is we can't actually spend anything until the 1st.
Well, the stuff that goes towards stadium doesn't count towards a PSR.
No, but if we had spare money, we're talking that we think we could spend, we might have just done something that way and put it towards something else.
Or the pitch. I mean, they redid the pitch the other week.
Yep, that is costly.
That's not cheap at all.
No.
It's been a while, and they've redone it. I actually have behind me, I've shown this before, when they redid it back in like 2011, they got
a piece of pitch.
They got the piece of pitches, and they put them in the resin cubes. I actually got a hold of one, so it's not one of the special ones that's from a specific goal. They only did like 20, 25 of those ones, but I did get a piece of that, so...
if you've got a piece of centre circle or corner flag, they've got they give it to like players. Those ones
and moments that are really cool, but yeah, no, I get it. Everyone's frustrated. I get it. I'm frustrated. I'm trying to find the balance right. Like someone put a comment the other day about on one of my last videos, and I'm like, it's a hard line to walk in terms of being ambitious, but also not get taken advantage of, getting rid of the United tax, but also backing the manager, like accepting the fact that you're going to have to, yes, for a good player, you have to pay a little bit more. I get that. I think for figuring out how to navigate that, I trust Ineos in terms of this based on just what I saw last summer, especially. I think they've got a lot of their signing spot on. Heaven, Dorgu, everyone we did last summer has been perfect. I think they've all worked out very, very well. They're not all finished article yet, but it doesn't mean they're bad players. They're amazing players. I think they're all shown that their quality.
Absolutely.
Dorgu scored against Newcastle. Dylan and I were there for that one. That was a beauty.
That's one of my favourites of the year. That is. The connection is just such a clean volley.
It was such a good. It was the technique was perfect, man. Like head down, hips open, leg coming down over the ball, keep it low, and I'm like, this perfect, man. His goal against Arsenal. Dorgu's been. I told you guys when everyone was freaking out about Dorgu that first season we had him. I'm like, just give him some
chance.
All right, let's talk a little bit about some odds and ends to you guys. If you guys have hung out with us this long, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, please. I appreciate that.
Smash it. Nearly there. Nearly at 4K.
Nothing else, hit that like button if you're feeling for Ian and the Heat, but it sounds like it's cooling off a little bit.
Oh, so. Absolutely.
Let's talk about some exits potentially, because I've seen on the word on the street is that United have agreed to loan one Andre Onono to Trabzonspor again. I don't know how I feel about this one, to be honest with you.
Do you know what? I think I've said it a couple of times. With these lot, I'm done with it. I honestly couldn't care. I'd rather him not be there. I don't care if we don't get any money. I honestly couldn't. No, I couldn't care less. I would pay to have his contract gone. He is bad juju. 100%. Nope.
This was not an Ineos signing. This was a Murtaugh Arnold garbage again. Another example of what I've said about the people who have made the most important decisions at this club for a better part of 13 years.
We sent two clowns with our checkbook to the Champions League final, and because he played well in that, they signed him. That was it.
No, it's because he plays out from the back, and Eric Ten Hag knows him.
Rubbish.
I don't know how many times I've said it on this channel that the wages that we pay absolutely mediocre players is killing us. It makes them impossible to move on. Onana and Ugarte are around about 120K a week, up to 160K now that United are back in the Champions League.
Yeah.
What are we doing? 300K madness. Garbage players.
We're paying for the what do they call it? You're paying for the sins of the father.
Yes, thankfully
we are.
Thankfully, Trabzonspor last season paid his wages in full.
Thank you.
Reportedly, they're doing it again.
Did we send him a basket?
Sounds like we're getting a couple million for the loan fee as well. So, but again,
they're actually paying us. Jeez,
they're getting a loan fee. They're paying full wages, so that helps. But I'm like, this is why so many. I mean, when people can't understand, they're like, why PSR? I'm like, because we pay players 300K a week, like Martial, Pogba, De Gea, Sancho, and they leave for free. So not only do we pay them that much per week, which is roughly 18 million a year, but we had to pay the full transfer fee. So over the course of Sancho's time at United, we probably spent at minimum 160 million on him.
Oh yeah. Well, it's Andy Mitten was pointing out in his thing. The Pogba one's even worse. We don't want to get into that. It makes you feel so sick. But with Casemiro going, not even including Rashford, just Casemiro, his wages, Sancho's wages, and Rasmus.
Yeah.
Right? We are over 40 million better off. 40 million better off. That is 200 million pound signings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Danny, he's on 60K at West Ham, by the way. Danny asked how much Mateus Fernandes is on.
I saw that as well.
He's not. You could double that. Maybe go to 150 and he'd be fine.
I think he'll be in the 150 to 2 bracket.
I don't think we need to go bonuses. That high. There's no reason to.
I think it'll be bonuses related though. Most wages are bonus related. They are. You get this much. If we win, you get this much more. That's fair. I think that's incentive based. So if we win the Premier League, we win this, you get more.
It's like when I say it about Barcelona all the time, and I say this about United. It's United. We shouldn't have to pay players that much to convince them. The problem is the Glazers, Woodward, lived this champagne lifestyle, so we thought that it made us look better if we paid these players more money. Barcelona don't have to pay Antoine Griezmann 500K a week when he's playing for them. It's Barcelona. He wants to go there. You shouldn't have to pay a player that much to go to Barcelona. Like it just makes no sense. I don't like the idea of starting players high. Like Sancho was ridiculous. What was going to happen with Sancho was he was going to do well, and we were going to have to give him raises wages.
That's when people were talking it would go to 4 or even more. It's even stupider.
Or the other option is what happened where he didn't do well, and now we're stuck with him until he walks away for free, which is exactly what happened. I said this when we signed him. It was a bad signing. We had
I didn't want him.
We had Ahmad. We didn't need to make this signing. It made no sense.
I thought that's transfer window before we got him. We dodged a bullet, and I can't believe we went back in and played another game of Russian roulette.
We skipped over the midfield for years when we needed to tackle. It just doesn't.
This is the other thing as well. Is if you let something rot for years and years and years, it costs more to fix than it would have done 5 years ago.
Old Trafford is a perfect example.
Well, exactly. We're having to move stadium because we spent a decade letting it crumble. Yeah. If we'd have done this a decade ago.
It's crumbling under the weight of all the fresh coats of paint that the Glazers are happy to slap on for decades instead of actually fixing something, maybe thinking. They don't care. They don't care.
Nah, I don't care.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, no, out on loan again. It is what it is. As long as he's not here, like you're saying. I don't really
as long as he doesn't darken our door, I don't care.
PTSD just having to look up photos of this
guy.
Oh,
I can't even. His name just gives me like a.
Yeah, I'm so done with him. A little bit more. I gotta get him off the screen. I can't look at this.
Yeah, something different. Anything.
I was a little frustrated with Real Madrid today that they exercised their buyback on Nico Paz. And they're likely going to force Como to pay about 50 to 60 million to bring him back to Como, which makes them grimy pricks as far as I'm concerned. And we knew this with Madrid. This is how they operate. They're basically doing what Chelsea did a while back that Chelsea got in trouble for.
Well, they're holding him to ransom, aren't they?
Well, they're just letting other clubs develop their players for him, basically, and then they're just Chelsea got done for that. Chelsea got a transfer ban for doing this. They had about 8,700 players out on loan.
I think the thing is, I think Jose's in now. He's been given, do you want this? No, I want something else. Right, well, we need a bit of money. Okay, well, buy him and then sell him back.
I told you guys, Madrid are not as rich as they want people to believe, man.
No.
They get a lot of free transfers. They go big on some players, but they don't go big on too many players.
Also, they're happy for their yearly outgoing to be massive. They don't care.
They don't sell anybody. They don't ever sell players either. Like, that's the thing. A lot of their players leave for free. Asensio left for free. Hazard's gone for free. Bale,
dodgy. I'd love to know the amount of tax they've evaded.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny, I saw Inter were linked to. It's interesting what's going to happen with Nico Paz. You guys know I like Nico Paz. It's a bummer if he leaves Como, then that's a bummer because I really like Baturina as well, and Baturina's at Como, and he's a natural 10. He's been playing on the wing, so he'll probably move into a 10. But if you guys have been watching,
might suit him more.
Yeah,
it will suit him more.
Baturina's class player.
I think there's absolutely no doubt in my mind Como will pay.
Yeah, I mean they're.
Can they convince Nico Paz?
Yeah. Oh, are they in Europa League or Champions League now?
Champions League.
So, yeah, so they need to strengthen he's worth probably more than that, honestly. I think Nico Paz is definitely
Madrid just did it to get the money. They just did it to get money because they are going to be bent over by Chelsea for Enzo. Yeah. And, it's...
we'll take Alvaro back. I mean, I'm just saying we want a left back.
Yeah, I say Garcia. We'll take Garcia.
Rob, I feel like you are hacking my computer because it's literally going to be the next words out of my mouth. Because we did get a here we go for Gonçalo Ramos to AC Milan.
I saw that, yep.
For a club record 50 million euros.
Which is a bit strange because I remember some journalist saying that he wasn't high on Ruben's list of strikers when we were looking for a striker, but he's the first person through the door.
Yeah, I don't get it because they just got. So who did they get? They got Jimenez 2 years ago, I believe. He hasn't really been great there. He was really good at Feyenoord, not great at AC Milan. Who else?
And then they got the other. They've got De Ketelaere.
Is he? I thought he was at Atalanta. Is he at AC Milan?
Oh no, did he go? I thought he went to Milan.
Interesting.
I thought he went to Milan.
So the reason I put this on here is. This to me, I put the title like, could Rafael Leao on the move? Because what you get from Serie A clubs, you don't see them spend big unless they make big sales. So we saw this with Juventus when they brought in Gonçalo Higuain, and then like 2 days later, Pogba to United was announced.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot of money in AC in the Serie A as well. Like I said, Italian clubs don't tend to spend big, so that we know Rafael Leao is probably leaving. I think he even said he wants to leave. So
Yeah.
that's got Arsenal written all over it. In my opinion, I think that's an Arsenal signing.
Yeah, something like that. An Arsenal or another Chelsea winger. It's got Chelsea kind of player written all over it for me. Absolutely not. I wouldn't take him with a 20-foot barge pole.
No, I'm not a fan of Rafael. I never saw anything between him and Rashford. I don't think they're bad necessarily. They're not like class or anything like that.
A few years ago, he was a bully boy with pace, and he hasn't even got that in his side anymore because fullbacks are getting so athletic now. He can't do that, and I just don't think he's any good.
I don't think he's as good as people have been saying for the last couple of years. Honestly,
well, as good as he thinks he is.
Yeah, just an average pacey winger. I mean, that's all. It's a Martinelli. It's a Rashford. Like that's what it's a.
Yeah, he's not even that skillful. I think he's a bit clunky. Yeah, so,
I don't really see it there. So, but interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about Serie A before. I mean, it's not a bad league. It's viewed as a bit of a step down league because the teams are so in and out. One season, 3 are good. The next season, another 3 are good. But it has some talent. But when it comes to players for United, there's probably only maybe a handful at best that I would be happy with. I'd be happy with Kone. I'd be happy with Kefren Turam. Try and name me another one that I'd be really, really happy with at United. I'm struggling. I don't like I don't like Yildiz. I don't really like.
Be named as Danny put in the chat. I don't say his name anymore because he.
But he can't be named, so we can't have him as a player.
I can't. I wanted him so bad, and then we didn't get him, and then now it hurts me to say his name. So it is what it is.
There's just other players that I just don't see too many that I would go, oh yeah, I'd be over the moon if United got that.
Yeah, I'm trying.
It's just one of them leagues.
A couple of years ago, like Hillman was still at Lecce. I would have taken him. Yeah. A lot of people can't get past the Arsenal tattoo with Hillman, though.
Oh god, it's just tattoo. Get over it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, but just when it comes to players, I don't think it's the most outstanding league, especially for potential talent. I just don't see it.
No, it's not a league I tend to scout a whole lot in, if I'm being honest.
We're seeing a centre back a lot of people go on about as well. B. It starts with a B. I can't. But did he not make?
Oh, you're talking about Bastoni?
Bastoni, yeah. Again, I think I've seen him a couple of times look okay, but I've also seen him look horrendously bad. I like the look of Bissac at Arsenal. I think he's at Arsenal at Inter, but.
Yep, I scouted him before he moved to Inter on the channel.
He's an absolute giant of a man, like a giant. I've never seen anybody bar Cristiano jump that high. He's like Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
it's stupid. I mean, it helps being 6'5".
Yeah,
he's 6'5", so that helps. But yeah, he's an animal.
Mike comes in with a chat, says, I don't understand why United don't offer Rashford to Madrid. I mean, can you see Rashford ousting Vinny on the left-hand side for Tchouameni?
Yeah, definitely not. I tell you what, though.
The best chance you've got of getting a player over there now that Mourinho is there is going to be Dallo.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we all were hoping for, wasn't it? But you went and got Denzel. So
yeah, now it's not going to happen.
Again, there's another player. I would have taken Denzel over Dallo. I'd have Denzel
over Dallo. When he was at
Dallo.
PSV, Denzel Dumfries was excellent. He was amazing. Yeah. He's a leader. He's like direct, stamina, that work rate. Like
also for a big man, he gets forward and gets assists. Yeah. I just think if United had got that right, we would have given us a right back that's a right back, and also can cross the ball, knows how to cross the ball. Plus, he's a very capable centre back if necessary as well.
Yeah,
like it's a multi-tool, and Jose knows it.
Yeah, I think Jose likes the older, physical, the Perisic kind of players and stuff. I'm surprised he hasn't brought Nemanja Matic with him.
I was about to say any minute it'd be Matic.
Matic. It's just Mourinho's guy.
Big Fellaini in.
Oh yeah, Fellaini. Oh.
Yeah.
People hate on Fellaini. I would trust that man to catch an infant with his chest. His chest control was that impeccable.
I'll take a Fellaini now. It really put the cat amongst the pigeons. Just annoy people so much.
He's retired, and I think he went to China and he retired. Fellaini. cut off all of his hair too before he retired. That was the source of his powers, and he cut it all off.
He lost it all after that. Didn't look the same. It just wasn't the same. Yeah.
Fellaini. God love him. He did help us in that Europa League run, though, so we got to help him out there.
That chest, the ball up to him was our only weapon. It was. At some stages, it was literally the only thing we could do.
I feel like if it was like you could create a player in a lab, Jose, who would you create? If you were like Fellaini, I'll create Fellaini.
Yeah. That's him. He's just taking it.
Steph. Welcome. You were a little late. We were just about wrapped up, but better late.
Evening, madame.
Yes, you guys, we are. That's pretty much it. I like to end with some odds and ends these days, because why not? But I do appreciate everyone for getting involved today. Really good discussions, really good chat. Thank you, Ian, as well. You guys, please make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you guys are new. Hype a couple videos, please. Go for it, bud.
No, I was just going to say smash the likes, and so what Sean said. Just get that done.
Don't forget.
I still can't. I like the hype thing, but it's annoying. You can only do 3 a week. Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. But weird, get it done.
I think YouTube realized it was paying out way too much for nonsense, and so it had to kind of trim the herd a little bit, thin the herd when it comes to how much they're paying out. But it does help the channel. It helps us all out. There are loads of links in the description as well. Like I said, I named a couple videos for you guys to check out. There's lots of links in there for videos, lots of links for ways to get involved, ways to contribute in there. You can do like a buy me a coffee. You can do a super thanks afterwards. You can also check out the UVE store, 20% off right now. So there's a link is below as well. Always check out the video description, guys. Tons and tons and tons of hidden stuff in there for you guys. But
get in the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah, gets in the WhatsApp group. Again, check the memberships. Like, again, good reminder, lots of great perks for the members. It's not just badges and emojis. You guys get involved in the content. We've got a WhatsApp group, Legends. You get first pick and early access to these exclusive videos like the Sangare, like the Adam Wharton, all that stuff. And then, the WhatsApp group, plenty of things in there. You guys get to say in scouting reports, too. You get to make suggestions for that. We've had some member picks on those as well. So got another one coming your way next week, so keep an eye out for that one. Got 5 new players, including a midfielder who plays at Nordjylland, who I am starting to get in love with. So keep an eye out for that guy. And it's not Caleb Urenchi. Already did him. Doing another one. So, Ian, any final thoughts before I let you get out of here and go cool off?
No, not really. I say I'm pretty burnt out when it comes to the transfer nonsense today. As I said, anybody who wants to see it, watch the video back. Don't buy into the nonsense. Don't buy into the rubbish you see on X. Just wait, and we'll get it done, or we'll all be sitting here in 4 weeks' time going mental. So either we'll all be together.
It's hard not to get frustrated. I get it. Keep in mind, not a whole lot of clubs have done a whole lot of business, so it is what it is. It's still early on in the transfer window. July 1st is when the fiscal year starts. Probably has a lot to do with why nobody's finalizing anything, but we have got one player locked in Ederson. We're working on another. I think we're just going to see a lot of movement in the next couple of weeks. Some of these players are done with the World Cup now, even the ones that went, so we'll see what happens there.
I think the other thing as well when it comes to that is also we are very much aware of not wanting to jump too early this time.
Yeah.
So, like, if we jump too early on and we go out now and we get Sangare and we get Fernandes, we're all really happy with that. Yeah. But then what if Real Madrid go and get Buwadi and Enzo and then Tchouameni is for sale and we're like, what? And Man City go, oh, do you know what? We'll have him. We'll all be livid. So we balance it out. Balance it out.
You can't go too soon on some. You try and be patient. And it's a learning process. Now, I expect Ineos to know what they're doing. It's not like they've come in without any clue. Wilcox, Barada, and Pavel have been doing this for a while. But again, it's all calculated risks. It's all keeping your cards close to the chest. I think they did also a little bit.
We have said, haven't we, a lot of times, Sean, on this channel, we're not supporters of Ineos. We're very much against what they're doing.
Yeah.
But in the last 18 months, they have started to turn it around. They are showing us the green shoots of recovery, if you like, and they are seemingly building a foundation that could take us forward. But, and it's my only thing that's really holding my belief system on them together, is why would you blow all of that goodwill? After the bad start, they finally got back onto the side where fans are behind them a certain amount. if you were to blow that now, it make no sense at all.
You
It just doesn't.
filter out the
Completely.
noise, filter out the negativity. And I don't like bad mouthing other channels, but a lot of channels, especially a lot of the bigger ones, they're just fear mongering. They're toxic.
Oh yeah,
they're
it's
negative.
click hunters. They're click hunters.
They're a
Also,
bit
we're in
whiny when
Europe.
they don't get their way, and I just can't abide that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I may not
And
rage. I may not go too crazy. I may not put a bunch of
No,
clickbait in
I
my
will.
thumbnails, but I'm boring. It is what it is. I embrace it, but we talk real shit today. So
But also, every time we've been in Europe before, we've spent big
yeah,
to make
I
sure
think
we
we'll be
stay.
all right.
So, yeah.
Sammy, I love Adam Wharton on this channel. You guys know I'm a big fan of Adam Wharton.
Yes, please, Sammy.
Welcome to the channel. Yeah, there's actually a deep dive, in-depth video on just Adam Wharton in the video description. You can go ahead and find the link down there. We've had his agent on the channel before. We talked to him. So, like I said, I just texted his agent earlier today because they're talking on TalkSport about why don't England have a deep line playmaker, and I'm screaming at the TV, why didn't you bring Adam Wharton to the camp? But we'll see. Appreciate you guys for jumping in. I know. You guys, it's a big ask for everyone. It's a long video, but they are fun. I do enjoy the longer videos. It's a good opportunity to chat. So
We get to talk, and we.
Yeah. Thank you, Ian. Thank you for coming in. Thank
Always.
you for involved in the channel, you guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, like it says on the top of the screen, and we will see you guys on the next one. Laters.